What?
Okay, well, we've been, I guess, muted for 12 whole fucking minutes. God damn it, my computer decided that it wanted to mute.
Fantastic.
So let's try this again. I'm getting messages from all my people. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to message my one guy here. Say, can you hear me now? Mr. Joe West, if you're watching, please message me back. And let me know if you can hear this now. And I'm going to keep all this. I'm going to keep all this footage. I am going to keep all this fucking footage because I want to consistently remind myself that I have to double and triple check all of my shit before I jump on this fucking live. What's going on, guys, man? Smokey the Bear, Doobie the Flair, the Bear with no hair, Kaylee Bear in the building. We've been shouting out Happy Dad for 12 minutes. Talking about fentanyl-laced weed for 12 minutes, and no one heard anything because
my job.
And your job. That's right. And we are going to talk about all of that all over again because everybody deserves the information, and we deserve to be able to talk about what we want to talk about. So let's start with the Happy Dads. You guys, I am drinking. It's not that I stopped drinking. It's not that I had a problem. It's just that I've never really liked to drink until now. I have found a couple whiskeys that I'm absolutely crazy about, and I have officially found a seltzer that I cannot live without. The Happy Dads, you guys, Happy Dad Hard Seltzer. This is the bee's knees. This is phenomenal. It is one of those. It's one of those hard seltzers that really just goes down smooth as fuck. Like I pound these so hard. 4 or 5 a night. I mean, I literally have a problem, but not that big of an issue because it's not every single night. So,
no.
But also shout out to Howlerhead banana flavored whiskey, or bourbon, I should say, and Screwball peanut butter whiskey, official sponsor of the Kill Tony band on the wonderful #1 live podcast, Kill Tony. If you guys aren't familiar with Kill Tony, please log into Kill Tony on YouTube, type in Kill Tony, and watch any episode. I promise you, any episode. There has not been one episode yet that I found and been like, that episode sucked. It rocks, guys. Just go check it out. So shout out Happy Dad, shout out Banana, or shout out Howlerhead, shout out Screwball, shout out Kill Tony. And with all that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So we dived in a little bit to your job. Dove, not dived. Jeez Louise. We dove in a little bit to your job. Now, let me recap for the people at home.
Yes.
Kaylee's job is closing up in September because they are absorbing her position. They not really absorbing, but they have laid stipulations on you that just cannot be met. We have medically needy children. We have been very open about this since we started.
Yeah. And only one of us can really work outside the home.
Yep, and that would be me. So I'm the one that works outside the home. She works from home, thank God. And she literally cannot travel into an office-like setting because of our son's health complications and his breathing issues and his different issues. For those of you who don't know, our son, Atticus, was born micro-preemie. How many weeks premature?
He was 13 weeks early.
13 weeks early.
He was a pound, 12 ounces, 12.6 inches long. Went through heart surgery, was on ventilator, CPAP, oxygen until almost a year old. Several other surgeries for gut issues, and
that's where I came in.
Yep. Just a lot of issues. And we tried putting him in school, and he missed 3/4 of the school year due to being sick so often. And ever since he was a baby, it's always been where if I've worked outside the home, or if if I was with somebody worked outside the home, Atticus was always sick. He couldn't go to daycare. It was ordered by a pulmonologist. He was not allowed to go to daycare until he was 3. And the few times that people didn't listen to him, which was not my idea, put him in daycare, he got very sick.
Yeah.
Almost lost him when he was 2. And just too many factors that we just can't risk.
Yeah.
Both of us working outside the home.
Right. And it's bad enough, you guys, that I'm working in a factory right now with a lot of chemicals and a lot of different things around. So that is scary for me. But he's a healthy young man now. He's a growing little boy, just turned 6. mouthy as ever, and smart, just crack of a whip, smart. Oh my
really
goodness.
is.
But in saying that, that's one of the reasons why the stipulations for this job just can't be met. Kaylee's being mandatorily forced to go back into the office, and going back into the office could really pose some health issues for our son. So unfortunately, we're gonna be looking for some new work here soon.
Yep.
And that's all right. You know, we got some shit squared away now. You know what I'm saying? We own the house, own the studio, so not worried about it.
Yep.
But in that same sense, you guys, you know, just kind of say some prayers for Kaylee Bear as she goes forward into this unknown water territory. But that's all right, because she's got the bear right next to her, and I got your back. So you already know. Dive in on my week a little bit here. Yeah, got really sick in the beginning of the week.
The worst migraine ever.
The worst, and my very first migraine. I've never in my life had a migraine. 31 years of life, I've never had a migraine until this week. I had a migraine so bad it put me out in bed the whole day, and it was about 22 hours is what the migraine lasted. And then I took some ibuprofen, took some Aleve, took some ibuprofen again, sat down with a cold rag on my head, and took a little nap. And then once I took that little nap, it was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine. Man, I struggled the night before, and it was so bad. So had a migraine, my first one. That shit. Oh, if you struggle with migraines, man, hats off to you, because that shit. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't wish that. Well, I would. I would wish that on a couple people, but. We won't talk about that on this podcast. So, yeah. And then after that, I'm trying to get back into the cannabis world, trying to get to the bud tender position again. I just want to work with people. I want to work with this beautiful plant. I love cannabis so much, man. And factory life just isn't for me. And that's something that I will talk about too, is the fact that I just realized that I'm not a physical labored individual. I'm not a guy that's going to go out and chop trees for 12 hours. I'm not a guy that's going to go into an RV plant and build RVs for 12 hours or 10 hours or even 8 hours. And I'm not your guy that's going to be on a production line. I'm just not that guy. I'm this guy. I'm the guy that talks to people. I'm the guy that forms a relationship, keeps a relationship, and tries his best to make that relationship as fruitful for us both as possible. And I think I do an okay job at that. Yeah. But I want to get back into that. I stepped away from all of that because some of you know my last cannabis job wasn't really all that it was cracked up to be on many different levels. But nonetheless, I'm not going to say any names because I'm not about to trash people. I don't want people trashing me, and it's going to happen. I know that it's going to happen, but I'm not going to stoop to that level. So I'm not going to say any names. But those in my close circle know who it is, and it's unfortunate because I lost a friendship in that unfortunately with someone that I was really having fun being friends with. I mean, it was just a very fun time. And it's very unfortunate that I lost the friendship in that. And even in that, saying that, that also happened when I did Doobies United. I lost friends that I didn't want to lose. You know what I mean? There were things that were said on both sides that I heard some things.
Right.
And then I said some things. You know what I'm saying? And that, looking back on it now, like I wish I could take that back. You know what I'm saying? Like I really wish I could take that back. I wish I could turn back time, erase that, redo it. You know what I'm saying? And if I did, I feel like there would be a lot more stronger bonds. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some people that I just really reconnected with, and I'm so fucking happy that I did that.
Oh, of course.
You know, I'll shout two of them out right now. Vicky Davidson and her husband Dustin. Two people who I genuinely care for. I really do. I love them both. And I said some things back in the day. I think it was to Dustin that I just shouldn't have said it. I'm, probably tried to fight somebody at some point. You know what I'm saying? I know there was one of them that I tried to fight. It wasn't Vicky. It was probably Dustin or one of the other guys. But I heard some things from some people that I thought I could trust. Turns out you can't trust who you think you can. You know, it's 9 times out of 10 that's the thing. So I flew off the handle and I said some things individually to each and every single one of these people. And Vicky and Dustin were involved in that slew of people that I said something to. And I just, I never said sorry to him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have a chance at Tong's party to kind of pull him aside. But I feel like without having to say it, bridges were mended a little bit.
Yeah.
And if not mended, like, at least bridges were like somewhat temporarily, at least for that night, somewhat built again to kind of, have the bridge there. And I hope that stays. You know what I'm saying? I hope to be able to see those two going forward and be able to actually, say that to them. And I'm sure I will have the chance coming soon.
Oh, of course.
Not soon, but, coming forward, I will. I'm hoping to have that opportunity. Because, one thing that you and I have talked about is even here within the last 6 months, I've changed dramatically. Again, I just am not, I'm not really going out of my way to, get angry about certain things. It's just the housing shit now that pisses me off. It's everything to do with the house and, well, really people in general, because people are shitty and they have done some shitty things here recently to you and to me. But, yeah, I'm stepping back into the cannabis industry and I'm excited about it. It's where I'm meant to be. It's where I feel comfortable being. And I just want to continue to be able to build relationships and be able to have friends. And, I just want to have that, Sunday barbecues where I can invite everybody over, you know what I'm saying? Or,
Of course.
we do kids' birthday parties or lake weekends or cabin rentals or whatever the fuck. But yeah, you and I need friends, man. We do. We need some couples that are, good couples to hang with and chill with and shit.
Right.
Something that you and I are desperately looking for. Because as much as I love you and as much as you love me, we do need to hang out with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and you got your homegirls, but they're far away now. So it's like, it's just frustrating. So if you guys are out there, you're a couple, and looking for some people to hang out with, we're right here, man. DM me. Let me know what's up. Don't be offended if I ask you to be on the pod. But nonetheless, I'm excited. Just things moving forward with the house. We're redoing some things and moving some stuff around. So it's making me feel a lot better. What you guys can't see on camera is right behind Kaylee. We have a fridge behind her now out here to where we can hold all our Happy Dads and all our liquor in the freezer. And as everybody knows, there's no kids allowed in my studio. So there's no kids anywhere near our studio, which allows us to have the more adult area, which is fucking nice.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's absolutely nice. I love it, love it, love it. So diving into topics, we dove into fentanyl-laced weed right before I was told that there was no sound.
Yes.
So fentanyl-laced weed. You guys, I have never encountered this personally, but I have heard of some of my closest homies that have come into contact with this, and it scares the ever-loving shit out of me. And I've only heard of homies that have come into contact with it in Indiana and non-legal states. I haven't heard about it here in Michigan just yet, but just because I haven't heard about it doesn't mean that one of you haven't. And if you guys have, I'm going to go ahead and log in to the Facebook page right now. And we are going to I'm going to start taking all of your comments, questions, concerns, topics, everything like that. Why can't I get onto this? There we go. Let me turn this all the way down. Here we go. All right. Alrighty, so guys, I am now logged into the Canna Life podcast page. Go ahead and hit me up on there, and find out, find out some stuff, man. Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for topics. Go ahead, man. Drop them in the comments right now. I hate this fucking thing.
Why?
I do not like
It's
it. I don't get good rips off that. For some reason, I don't get good rips off that at all. I'm gonna continue to sit over here and hit my vape. and drink my Happy Dad.
So I figured out that it probably is the atomizer because
Yeah,
I
it's
had to
gotta
turn
be.
it up to 510.
Oh wow, that's high.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And that's the
but
only
it's
way we're
probably
getting
not burning at
clouds now.
510 though. It's not burning at 510. There's no way. It's not a 510 cloud. Anyways, guys, I had a topic for you. iPhone has just announced that here soon your iPhone will be able to recreate your voice, and it will be able to do so within 15 minutes of learning from you, or 15 minutes of teaching. And it is going to be able to do so in the use of AI. Now, if you guys are not familiar with AI, I suggest you Google right now what AI is. And I suggest you get involved and you get educated on what's going on, because the movie The Terminator is right around the fucking corner. I'm talking, it is right around the fucking corner. And if you don't think it is, then I'm sorry, but I feel like you're a little uneducated as far as what's going on in the world. Elon Musk is close to creating the first ever wife robot. Realistic lips,
Really?
realistic breasts, realistic reproductive downstairs. Yeah, dude. Like, it's a thing. Elon Musk and Tesla and everybody over there in his little bubble are doing some wild shit right now. Wild shit. And it's to the point where I won't buy his cars. I think he's interesting to follow on Twitter.
Right.
That's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
But even he said AI is getting dangerous, and we're right around the corner from it getting dangerous. I mean, my whole thought process is what if one of these AIs gets a hold of the president's voice and sends a message to Russia, China about some nuclear bullshit, and then next thing you know, an AI is what starts World War III.
Right.
One of my many worries. What you got?
Oh, let me see. I had stuff. I don't know where my notes went to. Let's see. Oh, dang it. I had one, but now it's gone.
I got another one.
Okay.
We'll talk about that girl who had that baby at that hospital and put that baby in a trash can. Some people just are not meant to be parents. Some people are just not meant to reproduce. This young woman was of age. She was 18. It was a non-rape situation. 19. It was a non-rape situation. She did not want to tell her parents or her guardians, and she had the baby in the hospital bathroom and tried to hide it in the hospital bathroom trash can.
Yep.
And killed the baby.
And she had apparently just found out, like shortly before that she was pregnant and in labor or something like that.
No, she had found out just before that she was in labor. She knew she was pregnant. She knew all along she was pregnant. She just didn't want to tell nobody. And that goes to another comment that I should make. Guys, if you have mental health problems, reach out and tell somebody. Like, tell somebody, man. I'd rather have a conversation with you and cry a little bit than cry at your funeral. Or read about your funeral in the newspaper or anything like that.
Or, read about you killing a baby.
Facts. I mean, real shit, guys. That's scarier than all get out.
So there was a guy in Canada.
Yeah.
That opened up a store. He was arrested the same day it was opened. And it was a heroin, cocaine, and meth store. He wanted to provide safe, fentanyl-free drugs to a Providence in Canada. So he decided to open a store.
And do what?
And sell heroin, cocaine, and meth.
From his storefront?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question is, they allowed this?
No, he was arrested as soon as he opened the store.
Interesting. I appreciate what Buddy's doing. I think that he had somewhat of the right idea.
You can even see he stood outside with this sign showing that he was trying to sell. He limited it to 2.5 grams a day per person.
Jesus.
Of the drug of their choice.
Jesus. Oh my God. Like, that's nuts. Yo, you Canadians are some ballsy motherfuckers, bro. even the Canadian friends I got some nuts, bro. Like, just some ballsy motherfuckers, man. That shit's crazy right there. I can even imagine, like, what would happen to that guy if he tried that shit in the States. Like, I wonder what their law is. Like, does it say what his penalty was?
Let's see. He was charged with drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking, interesting.
Yeah.
There was probably some intent to sell.
Yeah, in connection with an illicit drug dispensary.
Wow, that's insanity. Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
What percent of Americans do you think cheat at bachelor and bachelorette parties?
I mean, I would hope that it would be very low, but it would probably be like a 50-50.
Shit, well, I hope for $1 billion, but realistically, it's a stretch. Survey shows that 70% of Americans cheat at bachelor and bachelorette parties. Bonusfinder.com surveyed 6,000 people, including the soon to be betrothed and their guests, about any frisky business at these events, and defined cheating as ranging from flirting or downloading a dating app during the parties to sexting or sleeping with someone other than your partner. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Some of you are some horny motherfuckers, man. I am some of you. Anyways, I'm just playing. So, that's interesting to me, though. And actually, it's not interesting to me at the same time. I say it's interesting because I thought that number would be a little lower.
I thought it would have been too.
70% is a little alarming. But then again, it's not interesting to me because of the podcast that I'm in tune with and the people that I watch and the information that I get. I understand that the dating world right now is absolute shitball, and that ladies have something called a dating wheel or some shit like that, where they could have as many as 10 guys plus at a time providing for their wants and needs, and you could just be another number, aka another notch on the belt. And that fucking scares the shit out of me.
I mean, I think men have the same thing, though.
Right, but again, we watch podcasts about this, and men and women love differently.
Oh yeah,
love mad differently.
Oh yeah.
So,
men can go a lot more. Men can go a lot more without their hearts than what women can. That's why I could never get into like friends with benefits things, because my heart gets involved way too quickly.
I feel you on that one, because I too love with a heart on my sleeve. So it's kind of one of those things where my emotions get involved and my feelings as well. But statistics show that, it's the women that cheat more than men. So
what statistic shows this?
Dude, man, you guys got to watch these podcasts, man. I got to tune y'all in. You guys want to watch Fresh and Fit, man. Fresh and Fit podcast will tell you everything you need to know. But man, see, this is why we need our own little person behind the camera to be looking shit up and fact checking my fat ass and
my Google stuff.
Well, yeah, because normally I have you as my Google stuff.
I know.
But it's all good. I've got you on topics and checking comments, so it's okay. No worries.
I mean, I can still Google shit.
But yeah, I'm gonna Google the study right now to show the percentage. But I'm pretty sure that I did read that it was the percentage was a little bit more leaning towards women on cheating than it was men. But regardless, men and women do love differently, and then I do feel like men love a little harder than women do, only because women have more standards that men have to meet, and men have very few. If you think about it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, men ask for very little men require very little when we are thinking of the stature of a woman than what a woman requires a man to be.
Okay.
A woman wants him to be financially stable, have his own home, have his own job, and everything. The only thing we require you to do is be loyal and faithful, and maybe cook and clean a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And actually be happy to see when we get home. like that there's only like 3, maybe a couple extras if the guy's really high maintenance, you know what I mean? And actually like is trying to, narrow down like the perfect woman. Cause most guys just settle. People just settle.
You were high maintenance.
I am extremely high maintenance.
Yes, you are.
And everyone knows that. Don't get shit twisted. Doobie LaFleur is high maintenance as fuck. Like, I hate dirt under my fingernails. I don't like that shit at all. Like, I hate when my head's not shaved.
See my fingernails right now.
I hate body odor. I don't like body sweat. Like, I fucking hate the fact that I'm fat. I hate them. I hate how much I sweat. Real shit. I love you for the fact that you can put up with that shit. Because, like, dude, I think I'm a disgusting motherfucker, but that's just me.
I just find it more comical.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been watching comical, man. We've been watching a lot of comedy. Yo, speaking of comedy, we've got a big weekend coming up here. We're going to be able to possibly get in touch with Tony Hinchcliffe. We are a VIP meet and greet.
Yes.
And at that VIP meet and greet, you know me, I'm always going to take an opportunity, and I'm gonna make a pitch, and I'm gonna see if we can't get Tony Hinchcliffe on this podcast. Because either that or the new podcast we're dropping, which, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take a small break and tell you about this podcast we're dropping. On Wednesday evenings around 8 or 8:30 p.m., we're going to be dropping a podcast called The Naggy Parent.
I can't wait.
The Naggy Parent. And it is going to be by parents, for parents, about parents, or parenting rather than parents. But, man, about parents sounded way better, though.
Yeah, I mean, about parents, about parenting, just about the shit that parents don't normally talk about, or like just I don't know, the things in general.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is just gonna be to bitch about parenting. Like when I went to go let the puppy in, he was in the kitchen crying.
Oh, really? About what?
That the dog was barking outside and he couldn't go to sleep with all the noise.
Oh my God. Was there some involved?
No, there was a lot of tears involved.
Oh, so he was legitimately upset.
Oh, yes. He was legit upset.
Well, I tell him to pull his pants up and go back to bed.
I told him that he had to deal with the birds chirping or he was going to get a fan again.
Did you already finish one of these?
Yeah.
You're ahead of me right now because I'm doing all the fucking talking. Unreal. What flavors you drinking?
I thought I had a watermelon the first time, and now I'm disappointed because I took a wild cherry, not realizing that the first one was a wild cherry.
You have another wild cherry there?
Yeah. I thought I took a watermelon the first time.
Guys, I can never have nothing. I just can't ever have anything. You'll never let me have nothing. I couldn't take a lemon
lime. We can just go to a lemon lime instead.
Dude, you better get your fucking dirty nappy paws off my fucking lemon lime. Let me tell you about it right now. You better figure it out.
Let it marinate.
Better let it marinate. Another topic that we saw, a lady wanted us to talk about dispensaries pushing out the growers. Let's talk about it. You guys, I don't think it's the dispensaries per se that are pushing out the growers. I think it's the government that is pushing out the growers.
And it's the quality of...
No, it's not even the quality, because I was just at an event here this weekend with Travis Mayer that really
stuff was good.
Just really opened up my eyes. I guess I've never really been to an event where there's just been hundreds, if not thousands of pounds at this festival. Just in total, like everybody contributed to that total. Like everybody had their own little total, but I think it's mad unfair. I think it's wrong. I think it's something that needs to stop. I think that they need to come together with these growers and they need to allow them to, duke it off in a growing competition. And the top, 10 growers in this growing competition get permits for the year to sell to the dispensaries for the year.
Yeah, almost like they do with hunting licenses and like some
kind of sort of. I mean, kind of sort of, but like make it a competition.
It's
like make these growers like grow their best of the best that they can, and then duke it out in a competition, put their buds together and see who's got the best shit, And then those 10 growers get the permits for the year. And that way, every year you have a different chance of getting another grower that comes out with a better strain that, you know what I mean? And then you have the growers that maybe win it year in and year out because they continue to make the best, grow the best cannabis. And I think at that time, you should, if a grower has a Lakers type dynasty, a Boston Celtics type dynasty, hell, a 90s Bulls type dynasty, I think you should at that point just allow that grower to withdraw from the competitions and just grow for the dispensaries full time. I think it's one of those type of things. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see a competition out of it because what I just saw yesterday was nuts.
Right.
Travis had a couple nugs of his good shit, and he had just some phenomenal cannabis. But
is
then
the stuff that we're smoking on now
we finished that off this afternoon. Then we went through that quick as fuck. But I went around the corner, and that's where I found that guy gave me that bud, and he also gave me a pack of edibles. But I smacked them motherfuckers. And I came home and I was fucked up, wasn't I? Man, I sat down on the couch, your boy was twisted. That's all right, man. I was fucked up. But let's see in this chat. Daniel Goodwin says, "Hit me up when I come, or hit us or hit him up when we come back that way. We can catch it up." He says something about not using it and not trusting it. I can't even remember where I was at that point. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't been reading that comment very well. But yes, so yeah, the dispensaries thing. I don't necessarily think it's the dispensaries, and I could be wrong. I think it's more the government that is pushing the growers out, and I don't think it's right. I think the growers. I mean, I know Joe West. Joe West grows some great tree. He really does. He grows some phenomenal tree. So does Tong. Tong's Ipania grows some fucking gas pack. Really does. Just grows some gas. And I would like to, see my guys be able to, possibly get the opportunity one day to sell to the dispos because I think their pot could make it, especially Joe. I think if Joe went macro with his grow, like a fucking just went stupid ham, fucking 10 lights, went just nuts with it, I think that he could just do something crazy. I really do. And I've told him that. Joe West, I fucking told you that. I shout him out all the time. Wild West cultivation, fucking amazing cannabis. But I think that, he and Tong both grow award-winning cannabis. I really do. And I'd like to see them enter in some strains. I think that'd be freaking cool. But I get asked all the time why I don't grow. And I've ever told you that, why I don't grow?
No, but
it's just
we've
too
tried.
Much. Well, we tried with an outdoor plant.
Yeah.
We just kind of let it go. And that just wasn't the thing. That motherfucker died. But I don't grow because it's too much work. You got to get the nutrient mixes right. You got to get the soil right. You got to get this, that right. And if you fuck up on one step, the whole plant's ruined. You know what I'm saying? Your plant's not going to be as potent as you want. It's not going to taste the right way. It's not going to.
I mean, we had the same issue with growing mushrooms, though, too. If you miss a step in the growing of the mushrooms, because the first
right, but see, you do mushrooms though. You inoculate the bag and you put it in a fucking closet and forget about it for 4 or 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden the bag just grows it. You feel me? So it's a lot different than pot.
Right.
Yes, in the fact that if you miss a crucial step, your shit's fucked. But I just, man, it's crazy. It really is. It's nuts. With cannabis, I grew a couple plants back before I turned my first room into it was a grow room, and I had 4 plants growing under one light, and all 4 of them caught spider mites.
Ooh.
And mites are just incurable. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say at home. I had these little spider mites that literally would not go away. They kept coming back. They stayed around, and they ate my whole fucking plant. Didn't even get to see the buds.
High fucking spiders.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't even think they get high. I just think it's like nutrients to them at that point. But yeah, it's mad frustrating growing cannabis for me. I won't do it anymore. So yeah, I've chose to do other things in life, and those are fun, and I enjoy that. and I enjoy the route that we took because that's a hell of a lot funner than
very much so.
you know. Well, for instance, I'll be going to those events that Travis invited me to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be going to a lot more of those events because those events are where you get a lot of the cool craft products. For instance, they had medicated Funyuns that came in the Funyun bag. They had medicated hot Cheetos. Fucking all sorts of shit. They had medicated everything. It was nuts. Now, I don't know how the medicated milk would have worked, and I don't know necessarily if I would have done it, but I will tell you that I did get a little shot of medicated Kool-Aid, and that lady had her mixture correct. That shit was, she gave me a shot, like it was like a Dixie cup glass, and that Dixie cup glass had my tongue numb, my teeth numb, it had my lips tingling.
Was it like the sip drink?
No.
Remember?
Sip was like overly sugared, overly sweet. You remember how sweet those were?
Yeah.
This was like, she mixed it up with like actual Kool-Aid packs.
Oh, okay.
And just mixed it old school, sugar and spice and everything nice. It was nuts. It was definitely a powder puff mixture. Feel me?
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then another lady, her name was like the Mushroom Princess or the Mushroom Queen or some shit like that on Instagram. I'll have to get that again, but she was the one that gave me a couple of those chocolate pieces. It fucked my world up. She had me feeling, that little chocolate piece had me feeling righteous for like the whole day. I didn't talk to you hardly at all yesterday.
No, and that's not like you on mushrooms either.
I talk your ass off. I'd be like, "Hi, what you doing, babe? How you doing? You all right? You good to go? All right, cool. I am too." Like, I'd be talking like crazy when I'm on the shroomies, but that chocolate bar.
You were like how I am.
Yeah,
shrooms,
man.
Like quiet as a freaking mouse.
Fucking A, right? Yeah, I was in the corner like, man, I am fucked up right now. Everything is moving. Like shit is like, and honestly though, it didn't hit me until I got home. So I got home because it was only 12 minutes away from the venue.
Right.
So I got home and I was like, all right, cool. I sat down, I cracked a Happy Dad, and I started drinking. And not even 10 minutes after cracking the Happy Dad, my ass was like, oh shit. Like, all right, here's the shrooms. Holy fuck. Okay. And yeah, it was great. So shout out to the queen of mushrooms, man. She was dope. Fucked your boy up. So sorry about last weekend's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Last weekend's podcast was unfortunately interrupted. We had one of the hosts of the birthday party get sick, and we had to wrap things up rather quickly. She's all good now, and everything is great. But we did want to be respectful, and as soon as we were asked to leave, we wanted to go ahead and get out as quick as we could. We also, unfortunately, had a babysitter issue that night. We had somebody that was supposed to come and help out at least a little bit with the kids and things in general. And again, you just never know who people really are. And it was a friendship that Kaylee had for 3 years, and it just didn't, some people are better to just stay acquaintances than they are to become friends. And something that's just
better to stay Facebook friends and never meet them.
Yeah, that type of shit. So it's unfortunate and it happened, but we've moved forward, and we just know that if we're going to get the studio packed up again, it's got to be a situation where we're locked in for sure on the interview, we're locked in for sure on the event. And speaking of that, guys, we're hoping this summer to be able to go out to some festivals, set up a tent, and do this podcast live from the festival grounds. I think that's something that I would like to do. It's something that I'm trying to do, trying to get involved. We are currently looking for sponsorship. So if you guys know anybody that is currently looking to sponsor something to help get their name out there, some advertisement opportunity, whatever the case may be, please let us know. We have an email that I will drop in the comments once this live is over. You can email all inquiries and stuff to that email, and I check it daily. Kaylee checks it daily. Yep. We are in constant communication with everyone. You guys, you're going to see Travis Mayer again here soon. We're going to get together on a weekend and redo his interview I'm gonna get with Daniel, Dab and Dan, and do his interview as well. And then my boy Tong called me yesterday and has an interesting interview opportunity that I would like to do. He's got a man that has beat cancer using nothing but THC remedies, and the doctors have scanned his body, scanned his blood, and there's no trace of the cancer. Now, he is, from my understanding, it did a number on him. Like, he fought it and it did a number on him. Like, basically he went, 12 rounds with Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad fucked him up. You feel me? And he's alive, he's kicking. But I told Tong to get in touch with him, find out, energy level wise, what time of day would work best for him. I understand that coming. Well, see, the reason why I didn't want to go live tonight at 9, ladies and gentlemen, is because I want to give you guys the best content possible at 9 o'clock for me. If we're going to start at 9, that wouldn't have worked for me. So
yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. But we're going to interview him. We're going to get his story out there. I have hella questions. I want to know everything. So I want to be able to get his story out and get it out there in full. I think that is something that people need to be the one to interview. So that's coming up. You guys, we have a lot of interviews on the way. We're supposed to be interviewing one of your old friends from high school still.
Yeah.
We got to get in touch with her. She was the one we were supposed to interview her at Tong's birthday party. But
they're not from high school, but from work. But
from work. But yeah, so we were supposed to interview her at Tong's birthday party. It just ended up not working out. So we just made arrangements otherwise. So yeah. If you guys do want to get interviewed, if you guys have something you want to talk about, don't be afraid to hit us up. If you have a story to tell, let us know. And if we, find it to be interesting enough or something that we want to know more about, we would love to have you on the podcast, guys. So if you know someone with an interesting story, drop a name, drop a link to their shit, and you guys, we have no problem reaching out to people. Just like we'll be doing sponsors all next week. So hopefully by the end of next week, by the time we see you guys again next Saturday, we'll have at least a sponsor or two is what I'm hoping. So with that being said, guys, when we do get a sponsor, there's going to be bigger interviews. Kaylee and I watching so much comedy right now, so much stand-up, that there are so many different comedians we want to interview. Yes. There are so many different TikTok stars that we want to interview, so many media personalities we want to interview. And we can't do that without sponsors. I mean, we can do that. It's just going to take us a lot longer because we'll have to do it out of our own paychecks. And that's just not happening right now. So, yeah, guys, there's just a lot going on. We have new studio lighting coming in. You guys, it looks good on camera right now. But there's going to be a lot more lighting in here to give it a lot more natural feel, give it a lot brighter feel so you can actually see Kaylee and I. We're also looking at new cameras. I've got 2 cameras right now, but we're looking at how to set everything up and get everything to where we can have it be the best production quality possible. Yes. With that being said, you guys, if you know anybody who is free on a Saturday night or a Wednesday night and wouldn't mind sparing an hour or 2 of their time, and they would want to be involved with something from the ground up, we're looking for somebody to learn the computer work and to run the camera computer work behind the scenes. So Kaylee and I can focus on the interview and focus on the topics and things like that. Because as much as I would love to be able to go over to the computer right now and tap the other camera and show you guys the other camera, I just can't reach it. So I wanted to be able to have my hands free. I wanted Kaylee's hands to be able to be free. That way we can talk and look at each other and be able to have a conversation. So, yeah, guys, we're looking for people to add to the team physically. Could this end up being a paid opportunity? Sure. I mean, if and when this does what we know it will do, it very well could be a paid opportunity. You guys, it's something that Kaylee and I have talked about. We are going to need to create a budget for this. It's just going to have to happen at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
So, yeah, but we're looking to add to the team sooner than later, really, to get acquainted and everything. But again, guys, scheduling is one thing. And we understand that everybody's got their own schedules. So Saturday nights, live at 8 every Saturday.
8:30ish.
8:30ish, and same thing on Wednesday, 8:30ish on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And we'll go till about 9:30, 10 o'clock on those nights. I don't see us really going any later than that unless we have a really big interview. Then we will probably go a few hours.
Right, definitely.
But yeah, I also posted something about Jelly Roll this week. Have you ever listened to Jelly Roll?
I've listened to a bit because he's always been on some of your playlists. So when we
Not
shared The Office, there was some Jelly Roll stuff that would come up that would be mixed in, not necessarily your playlist, but like the YouTube mixes that it would
Okay,
give
yeah,
me.
see, that's different. Yeah, YouTube mixes is different than Doobie LaFleur's mixes. Jelly Roll's not in my mixes.
Yeah, but
And I
like
don't
those
support his
mixes
music.
would have like some of his stuff in, but
Yeah, I don't support his music, but I support him as a person. And the reason that is because I just never got into his music, not really into his music, and I've heard a couple songs and I really don't care for it. But I did just see him on a podcast with Joe Rogan. And for those of you guys who
entire thing today.
Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, I think Joe Rogan's a god. Like he could walk on water, turn water into wine, all that shit. And he interviewed Mr. Jelly Roll, and Jelly Roll had a really interesting story, and just didn't know a lot of those things about him, stories he told, and things that he's done, and people that he's helped out and who have helped him out, and people that he's cool with, and all sorts of stuff. So I thought that was interesting, and I was really intrigued to be able to hear about his story and where he came from and what's happened to him in his life. So I'm a Jelly Roll fan as far as a person goes, but I won't break. I'm not gonna.
I think there's only been like one song of his that was decent.
Yeah, and for me it was Save Me.
Yeah,
that was because I was just related to that one on as far as my old drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a new one, but back when I was on, like that song I could relate. So yeah, but let's see, anything else? What are we talking? What else are we telling him here? I don't think I have any information that leads any more to the studio or anything. Drywall should be coming soon. You guys behind us, all white.
Yes.
Want to make sure that we can put some posters up, put some advertisements up for you guys, and different things. What do you got? You got anything?
I mean, not really.
Nope.
No.
Well, let's see.
Not anything that's cool.
Not anything that's cool.
No.
Okay, let me check. Let me check my notes and see what I've got here. I do have one. How much do you think it cost the British government for Queen Elizabeth's funeral?
Probably close to like £4 million.
Well, this is in dollars, and you are way fucking off. I'm going to tell you right now, you are so far off.
Am I too low?
You're extremely low.
Okay, so
hey, I'm gonna let you know they balled the fuck out.
So like $100 million.
Close. $200 million is what the British government spent, and it says around $200 million. But I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. Queen Elizabeth, her funeral cost around $200 million, the Treasury revealed on Thursday of this past week. The occasion, attended by world leaders and dignitaries, followed 10 days of national mourning after the Queen died at the age of 96 on September 8th, after 70 years on the throne.
That's crazy.
Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. But man, that was nuts. That just... oh, goodness. That just cracks me up. And then it says a man in Tennessee is in a little bit of trouble because he has pulled a gun on a YouTuber. The YouTuber was doing a prank on him, and he turned around and pulled a pistol on him and put it in his face and said, "I will fucking kill you." Okay, so we don't know what the prank was. They really don't go into detail about what happened. They just said that this guy was pranking this older gentleman. The older gentleman wasn't having it and pulled a gun on the young man. And threatened to kill him. So for you guys doing YouTube pranks out there, man, just pick your people.
My
You know what I'm saying?
goodness.
Just pick your battles there. Another one that I've got is NBA star John Morant, really good basketball player, high flying young man. This kid can jump out the gym. Got caught waving a pistol again on Instagram Live. And it's just like, buddy, you're in the NBA, you're rocking out to gang music, you're waving a pistol around. You just got in trouble, not even, let's see here. Not even 6 months ago for throwing gang signs and just being just kind of not being what the NBA wants to portray.
Right.
And I don't know how I feel about this situation. I feel like a gun is legal to have, and being a star and being someone who is a prominent figure in the media, I think it is something that he should be allowed to have. I think he is allowed to have it. But do I think he should be flaunting it the way he was flaunting it? No. Well, first of all, do I like the music he was listening to? Fuck no. I hate NBA Youngboy. I am not a Youngboy fan. I am team Lil Durk. Fuck Youngboy. But I just don't think somebody of his stature should be waving their gun around on Instagram Live. I just think it's a terrible look, and the NBA feels the exact same way. The NBA has suspended him right now. From what I understand, it's indefinitely for the time being. Sure it is. He's probably suspended for the rest of the season, and it's not a matter of like, he didn't break any laws, because he didn't. He didn't break any laws. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. He wasn't threatening anybody. He was just waving his gun around, sitting in his truck on his driveway. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the hundreds of thousands of little kids out there that are wanting to be Ja Morant, wanting your shoes, wanting your jersey, wanting to go to games to see you. They're begging their mom and dad to save up money to go see Ja Morant play. They're expecting you, when I say there, I mean the NBA is expecting you to be a role model citizen for these young kids growing up. They're expecting you to uphold a certain standard for the NBA. And when you sign a fucking contract, you're signing up for that, to do that. Like, I mean, they gave the guy hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's like, you are at that point expected to uphold whatever the NBA tells you to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, you have rights. You didn't do anything illegal. You didn't break the law, but you potentially broke your contract. Yeah. You potentially violated major issues in your contract. So it's like, I understand. I really do. But he's already been in trouble for it once. This is his second time. And I don't think that they're going to give him another chance after this. I think they're going to give him another chance to play. He's going to play again, but they're not going to give him another chance after he gets caught with a gun after this. The NBA will kick him the fuck out.
I mean, they probably will anyways.
Yep. And then after years and years and years of creating beautiful music and being in movies and doing his thing on the screen, Ludacris finally got his Hollywood star on the Hollywood Stars Walk of Fame. Yep, happened last week. He was joined by LL Cool J, Vin Diesel, and Tyrese on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, to where he got his Hollywood star. And I think that's just amazing, man. Luda was dressed up head to toe in a tan suit with roses all over it, what looked like black Air Force One. So you already know he was going to put the Ludaversal smackdown on any motherfucker that ran up on him. You know what the black forces are on, baby. He was on that bullshit. But look good, though, Luda. Looking real, real sharp. What else I got here? I got a lot of shit I saved up from this week. Lots and lots of shit. Let's find out what else is cool here. All right, here we go. Right now, in the United States, there's been a survey that has gone out, and it says 1 in 6 adults have depression as rates rise to record levels in the U.S. About 18% of adults, more than 1 in 6, say they are depressed or receiving treatment for depression. A jump of more than 7 percentage points since 2015, when Gallup first started polling on the topic. Nearly 3 in 10 adults have been clinically diagnosed with depression at some point in their lifetime, according to the survey, which is also a record high. You guys, man, we touch on this a lot. I touch on this personally with a lot of my homies. Mental health is a real big thing. I mean, it's something that wasn't really focused on when I was a kid. It wasn't focused on when you were a kid.
Oh, not at all.
And it wasn't focused on when my parents were kids. But nowadays, it is something that is in the limelight. It is in the focus of the world. And you guys, it's something that needs to be talked about. So if you're going through something, if something is wrong, you feel a certain type of way, please do not hesitate to reach out. I understand there's still trolls, there's still bullies. Those type of people will forever be there. But again, you have to pick your people, you guys.
I mean, not only that, but like, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Facts.
I mean, in the position that I work in, there's been people who are higher up than me that have gone and sought mental health facilities stays.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yep.
And you know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it happens. I worked in a facility for a while, and it's, you know, it's a really hard place to be, but being able to do whatever you can for your mental health is most important.
Yeah. And that's something, guys, I'd rather have a conversation and break down into some tears with you than break down into tears at your funeral. You know, you all have a purpose. You all have meaning in this life. Please just reach out. Like Kaylee said, if you need help or something's wrong, you're not feeling right, don't be afraid to ask for help, or don't be afraid to talk about it. Goodness gracious. Just reach out, you guys, literally. All right, let me see here. What else do I have? Let's talk a little bit more about the Ja Morant thing. Speaking of, you know, upholding, you know, certain statures that you're supposed to uphold, Nike has dropped Ja Morant following the second gun incident. Nike was set to have one of their biggest shoe releases with the Ja Morant ones, and no, they're not. You can't find Ja Morant sneakers anywhere. So,
well, and didn't Michael Jordan just withdraw?
Yep, Michael
from
Jordan
his
also
contract
parted
too?
ways. Yep, Michael Jordan has officially parted ways with Nike, which is absolutely fucking huge. That's just crazy. So,
hi puppers.
let's see here. I think I've got maybe one more. I did find this interesting. I do have one more involving the Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. Kobe Bryant's daughter, Natalia Bryant, was credited as an intern on Beyonce's Renaissance tour.
Dang.
That's big as fuck. That really is. Even though it's only an intern position, she's rubbing elbows with the right people. And being that her last name is Bryant, you know, obviously that's a really big last name. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi. You guys, that was a tragic, just a big tragic event in my life. And Kobe Bryant's death was just, oh my goodness. But this is really cool to see that she's moving forward, and from the pictures that I see and the pictures that I saw, she's extremely happy with life. She's enjoying life, and just taking life by the balls and really just going for it. So
yeah, definitely.
Really, really cool to see. So to Natalia, man, congratulations to you. Just really, really appreciate all your hard work on that. And I know Beyonce does too. She has an amazing production. If you guys haven't seen the production value from Beyonce's tour, from what I've seen, it's immaculate. It really is. Last one I've got here for you guys tonight is a study just found from California here. That study finds marijuana could harm development in babies as early as the first trimester. If you're pregnant and use any form of cannabis product, consider stopping. That's the takeaway from a new study that has found a significant health impact of marijuana use on fetal development as early as the beginning of pregnancy. That's why these findings are especially important. People can often be well into the first trimester and don't even know they are pregnant, said lead author Beth Bailey, professor of psychology and director of population health research at the College of Medicine at Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, baby.
Of course.
That's right. And you know it's coming out of Michigan. You know these studies are coming. It said
Of course
California
they're
at the
coming out
top.
of Michigan.
It said California at the top, but then it gives Michigan the credit down here. So I'm going to research this more to find out exactly where the study came from.
So, I mean,
but
okay, I am in a lot of cannabis mom groups, and so far, like, the moms that have consumed from pregnancy, breastfed and consumed and stuff like that, like their babies are still intelligent. Like there's nothing that has been found that's been wrong with them.
Right.
Like most of them are more neurotypical than kids that didn't smoke, like that parents didn't.
Right. I'd like to know how many moms they tested to get these numbers. I would like to see the official numbers on this, and I will get the numbers. We will get the numbers for next week. So you guys, we'll touch on this topic again. I'll save this and put this to the top of the list. But regardless if you're pregnant, you should not be using any substances besides those prescribed by a doctor or the prenatal vitamins. That's just how I feel about it. Like, I didn't let my first baby mama consume anything while she was pregnant with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even that I wouldn't let her. It's just I really didn't give her an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never presented it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I don't feel that there's been enough studies done on it.
I feel the same.
To make it to where, like, it would be something that.
I feel the same way. I do. I feel the exact same way. And you know that I've gotten into arguments with people here as of recently, weeks ago, about comments that have been made in regards to shit like that.
Right.
Like, cannabis is related directly to lung cancer. Show me the study. Right. Show me the numbers.
There aren't any.
There's
like
not.
My dad had lung cancer and was smoking cannabis on a daily basis, and it was shrinking everything. Like, it showed.
They tried to say there's a new study out that I saw, and I'll get the numbers on this too. Is that a new study shows that young men between the ages of 25 and 35 who have had heavy cannabis usage have a higher risk of getting schizophrenia than those who haven't used. And I would like to see. I would like to see the numbers on that shit too.
So one of my cousins was schizophrenic, and it is why one of my other cousins never smoked. Or no, it wasn't my cousin; it was my uncle.
Okay.
He had smoked heavily for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden, just stuff within his head started changing. And they found out that he had schizophrenia, to where before he didn't, and it was within that age range. And that's why people within my family were like, oh, I don't want to smoke. And like my aunt had told all of her kids, like, you don't want to smoke because Uncle Brent had this. But like my dad was the biggest pothead his entire life and was fine. And like, I've heard that it could, but it's also part of your genetic makeup. My Uncle Brent has a completely different genetic makeup than the other siblings,
right,
that weren't affected by it.
Right. I think it's a case-by-case basis.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I know when I took pills back in the day, I realized I got fucked up way quicker than my friends did. I realized that when I did drugs, my body reacted overly accepting to the drugs. Like, I didn't have any bad reactions except for tramadol. I just had an allergic reaction to it. But I've never had, besides that one, I've never had an allergic reaction. And I just know that when for instance, I take a Percocet, like a Perc 30, and, it says on the bottle, 20 to 30 minutes for activation time, that shit would smack me in 10 minutes. I would be fucked up, and I'm talking inconsolable fucked up. Like, I would be absolutely out of this world fucked up. And same thing with when I did heroin back in the day, and I had my battle with that. I would be able to do little amounts instead of doing big amounts. I'd be able to do little amounts, and my body I would just be fucked up. Like, I did a big amount, and so that was something that I guess looking back on, I can be thankful for.
Craig said that Jamaican women in labor have drank cannabis tea for years.
And and I'm glad Craig's tuning in. Where's Craig tuning in on YouTube?
Wisconsin. No, he's on Facebook.
He's on Facebook. See, I'm on the Facebook one too, and I'm not seeing any of that. So sorry about that, guys. I guess my shit's not wanting to load all the comments here. But yes, and that just goes right along with what I was saying, is it's been medicinally used for years.
Right.
There's medicinal values there. And the propaganda against marijuana is still to this day just mind blowing.
I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for smoking, I don't think that from having COVID, last February, I don't think I would be where I would be now without it. Like, I mean, I've lost like 80 some pounds, but when you and I first got together, I was hardly able to eat. I would go days crying because I couldn't eat and I wanted to so bad. And like, I've gotten a lot better. And
That's
I think
right.
a lot of that has been like because of cannabis. It's like I have to smoke in the morning, unfortunately, now because that's just what gets my body going.
Yep.
Anything else would never work.
Yeah. And I couldn't imagine not having cannabis. I really can't, because at this point, with how my body is, I just would feel, I feel like I would just, if I stopped smoking, I would find out I had brittle bone disease or something and just be able to, bones would be like glass. You know what I'm saying?
That would be, I mean, unfortunate, but
Yeah, big hit there.
yeah.
What else is going on in those comments that I can't see?
I mean, nothing much yet. Derek just said goodnight
Oh,
a
night,
few minutes
Derek.
ago.
Have a good night, buddy. Love you. Thank you for tuning in. Craig, thank you for
Craig
tuning in.
said, fuck big pharma and big alcohol. I mean, we definitely agree on that. We try as much as possible to not give in to big pharma. I've, pharmacy tech for years, but
Yeah.
as much as possible, we try to even keep our kids away from medications. Atticus is on as little as possible to, keep him really moving.
He's on his life-saving medication, and that's it.
And one of them is on back order, and he needs it.
Yep, and that's unfortunate, and it really is. But yes, fuck big pharma. As far as big alcohol goes, I'm a Happy Dad fan. I'm a Howler Head fan. I'm a Screwball fan. Very expensive tequila.
Yeah, what's that stuff you got in the freezer?
No, that's not expensive. That's just Espolón.
Oh,
That's just some domestic tequila. But I do drink tequila that leaves people penniless when they die. But I can't say as far as big alcohol. I'm not a big alcohol drinker in that sense, so I'm not sitting out here in my studio night in, night out, pounding shots of this, shots of that. That's not happening.
no.
But do I like to have a glass every couple days of some banana? Sure. Do I,
however you mixed that last night, I wanted to try that, but
oh yeah, that was Daddy's private mix.
shut
I'm
up.
not gonna get that again.
Whatever.
But yeah, so other than that, fuck big pharma. I'm freaked out to take ibuprofen now and Aleve. I don't like doing that. And yeah, I agree with the fuck big pharma thing though. Big pharma can fuck off. Let's see here. I don't think I've got anything else right now. And I think we've covered everything that I want to cover on my topic list. So I was happy we talked about all that.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys hit us up. Lots of information has been shared this evening. And we love you guys very much, and we thank you for tuning into our podcast and coming to hang out. And for those of you viewing at a later time, please watch the whole episode. There's been a lot of information shared. There's been some offers. There's been some inquiries.
13 minutes.
Yeah, you can go ahead and fast forward through the first 13 minutes of that.
Let's put that in the comments somewhere.
Yeah.
But then check in this upcoming Wednesday for our first Nagging Parents podcast.
Yep, the Naggy Parent this Wednesday, not 8 or 8:30ish, depending on the kids when they get to bed. But the Naggy Parent will officially be here on Wednesday night, and it's a podcast by parents, for parents about parenting. So we love you guys so very much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Doobie LaFleur, Smokey the Bear. That's Kaylee Bear. You already know. Love you guys so very much, man. And we will see you later. Peace.
Good night.